Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Real Bros Podcast. I'm your host, Logan Thomas, and with me, as always, is my most excellent co-host.
Caden Green.
And together we are
The
Real Bros. Today, Caden, we are continuing with the legendary Monsterverse, and we are going over, which is going to be confusing, the first released film, but chronologically the second film.
Yes.
And that is Godzilla 2014.
Yes. It's so jarring to think that this is already a 12-year-old movie.
And I remember this was like a huge movie when we were in high school. I remember watching all the trailers and thinking like, "Oh my gosh, this is like one of the coolest things I've ever seen." And like looking back on it now with all the other ones we've gotten, this one is incredibly small.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think I'm gonna have some mixed emotions here after rewatching it. This movie is both weak and strong at the same time. To me, this movie is like it's like an experimental film. This whole movie feels like it is an entire like sales pitch for what they could do. And I mean that in regards of actual like Godzilla and like monster fights. This movie is a disaster movie with Godzilla sprinkled in here and there. And I think that both helps and hurts the movie at the same time. Because when you see a movie that's titled Godzilla, what do you expect to see?
Godzilla?
About how much screen time does Godzilla get in this movie, would you say, on average?
About 5 to 10 minutes, but
Those 5 to 10 minutes are incredible.
they are. But need I remind you real quick, most of the original Godzilla movies had about as much as this first movie did.
That's also true.
And you are a very huge fan of those movies.
I think I'm more of a fan of the experience of just us watching them. Because like we make side commentaries, we talk for the monsters whenever we watch those movies. That is what makes watching those movies so much more enjoyable, rather than just sitting there like deadpan watching a 1950s. I should say more than 1960s Godzilla films, and looking for them to get like a comedic feel.
Right.
Because I remember we were watching, I think it was Godzilla versus Mothra, or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was Godzilla versus Mothra.
And like the Godzilla's eyes were like pointing in two different directions.
Frog eyes.
And it was so obviously a point where it was just men in a rubber suit. And we were just making so much commentary. It was such a wholesome experience. And I think that is like its own thing in a right. Whereas these ones, we kind of still do that, but it is nowhere near the level it got when we watched the old ones.
Right.
And because like it is essentially a guy doing a bunch of pratfalls in a rubber suit with a tail. So that is what you're expecting, and that is what you're gonna get with those older movies.
Oh yeah.
But no, this is a very character driven story.
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
No. I would say this is the most human story movie in the Monsterverse besides Kong.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Kong even has less than this one does.
Less human?
Yeah, like you can definitely tell like monsters were a major part of the story that they were trying to do. Because like it was like all in daylight, all the monsters were in daylight, they had such a wide range of creatures they were putting on display for us. But this one is so human heavy.
Which, I mean, you also got to think this is the first movie of the franchise.
Right.
Most first movies don't go in full guns blazing the entire time.
That's true. That's true.
Because if that were the case, any movie past the first wouldn't have that same spark of, oh, wow, look at all that. Look at this.
Right.
So you got to have kind of that two-way lens on it. Like, yeah, there's mostly human interaction, but that's what drives the story forward.
Mm-hmm.
And if we had any more monster versus monster action, we wouldn't really be as astounded by what we have now with our more recent movies.
Right.
Because we have shifted.
Mm-hmm.
We are absolutely into more monster
Yeah,
than human.
we're definitely into the Godzilla and Kong doing WWE crazy 80s fighting movies. That's what we're getting now.
Yeah.
And I have no complaints
Not at all.
with that whatsoever. I could just sit there and watch like a 3-hour movie of just like a 20-round fight between Godzilla and or Kong versus different monsters, and I'd be completely content with myself.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, this is visually a very amazing movie. I would say this one has more striking visuals than Kong. In the regard of like, it's much more of a real world visuals
Yeah.
than where Kong is like that fantastical, wondrous,
Mythological.
Yeah. There really isn't that vibe in this movie.
No, because it's set in a more realistic tone.
Yeah, and I think that I think it also helps with that in that it is the shade of a disaster movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that definitely makes it much more urgent.
Right.
And it definitely makes the movie feel bigger. Because like, and I do like, because like when we're gonna get into this, when we first like see Godzilla, we're coming at it from a human perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And that alone is just amazing as it is.
Oh yeah.
Caden, what are your thoughts and feelings about this movie?
Honestly, it's for the first released movie, it's a very strong start.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've discussed, there's not a whole lot of excuse me. There's not a whole lot of human or monster visuals, but when they're stunning, they're scary, they're striking. They're there to pop out from the standard that you've grown used to the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what they were going for, that's what they succeeded in.
Yeah, because this is definitely prime legendary films.
Oh yeah.
Because like Legendary has like a visual standard now, kind of like how Marvel has like a visual standard in a sense, but like you can definitely tell that this is like right off the heels of Pacific Rim, like prime Legendary. And I have no complaints about it.
And sorry. And with that said, Legendary does really good weather effects.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because there's a lot of dust and rain and wind in Godzilla.
And the cloud work?
Oh, it's fantastic. And the same can be said for Pacific Rim.
Oh yeah. It's some of the best CGI rain I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Even nowadays, you really don't get anything that good looking when it comes to rain.
And like I wouldn't even say that Pacific Rim Uprising looked as good as the first one. Because like I said, that came out when they're like just starting to hit like a standard. You know what I mean? Because that was like right after King of the Monsters.
Uprising?
Yeah. It was either right before or right after King of the Monsters when Uprising came out.
It was very close to one another.
And that's like pretty much when the standard kind of started happening.
Right.
But other than that, I don't think we have much else to talk about before we get into our good stuff. Are you looking for a King of the Monsters date?
Mm-hmm. It'll be quicker if I.
Mm.
No. Pacific Rim was 2013. King of the Monsters.
That was like 2017.
Oh, are you serious? I don't have a date for it.
I'm pretty
Um.
sure King of the Monsters is 2017.
Well. I was looking at the wrong Pacific Rim. We're looking.
Yeah, because we decided not to cover Uprising.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Um, on another note, I would like to say that the military aspect of this movie is a fun aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And like, because we don't get that again besides Kong ever again.
No.
We do get military aspect, but like the last time we get it is King of the Monsters. And even then, it just feels like people on like a flying space hub thing. So like it's not an actual like military operation. This is like straight up military operations.
King of the Monster was 2019.
Oh.
Uprising was 2018.
Oh wow. Okay. So then you honestly you could say perhaps that Pacific Rim Uprising kind of set the standard.
I don't know. Looking back on it, it had a lot of vibrant colors,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of felt like it was taking away from the actual uh design of everything.
Well, I think it helps that the first film was made by Guillermo del Toro,
Mm-hmm.
and he is such a visual director that I think that's why that movie is so striking on its own. And then Uprising just feels like it was one of those made by committee, just generic sequels.
Yeah.
And that's why I've only seen it once, because it literally did nothing for me.
Mm-mm.
Because I was afraid it was going to tarnish my thoughts of the first one.
No. We just chose not to acknowledge it.
That too. And with everything else, we'll cover when we get into the rest of the spoiler review. Caden, I don't think we have anything else. If you want to take us through your quick review.
So, in case we haven't mentioned this, the movie itself has a very straightforward plot. So, this quick review is going to be here it is. Giant monsters start awakening around the world, and thus they start fighting for dominance over each other. One can be seen as a force of good, the other can be seen as a force of evil. That's pretty much all I can say without, oh yeah, this character acts as this. It's very, very straightforward.
And like, there is a story there, but after like the first act, I would say the story is non-existent. Because like the interesting part is the family stuff.
Oh yeah.
But then once the family stuff is gone, that's when the military stuff takes over, and that's when it's just like, big monster, shoot, destroy, let them fight. That is literally an entire hour and a half of this movie.
And you're gonna complain?
I'm not, but I'm just stating it for the people out there.
Sounds like you're complaining.
Everything sounds like I'm complaining.
That is true.
In 1998. Oh, are we ready to go to production tales? My bad.
I got nothing else to add with the spoiler review.
the pre-spoiler review.
Yep.
All right. In 1998, TriStar Pictures released their Hollywood reboot, Godzilla, which had Matthew Broderick and I forget the other actress, but it was that T-Rex looking,
Zilla.
yeah, Zilla, and that was what it was. However, plans for a trilogy were canceled due to the film's poor reception.
Oh, whoa. How terrible.
I haven't even seen that movie, and I really don't want to. It just
It's-
looks so ridiculous.
Trust me, it is.
TriStar let their remake/sequel rights expire on May 20th of 2003. In 2004, Toho Company Limited released Godzilla Final Wars to commemorate the franchise's 50th anniversary and to put the franchise on hiatus due to low ticket sales and audience burnout until demand increased for another film. It is the second Godzilla film to be completely produced by a Hollywood studio. The American releases of Godzilla, Godzilla King of the Monsters, King Kong vs. Godzilla, and The Return of Godzilla, and Godzilla 1985. Featured additional footage produced by independent Hollywood studios. The footage featured Western actors and merged it with the original Japanese footage in order to appeal to American audiences. Invasion of the Astro Monster was the first Godzilla film to be co-produced between a Japanese studio, Toho,
Okay.
and an American studio. The first Godzilla film to be completely produced by a Hollywood studio was Zilla. And you can see how that went.
Yeah.
Okay, do you think Godzilla should remain in the hands of Toho, or do you think other people should be allowed to attempt to make Godzilla films?
See, Toho does really good work, but the only thing is there's a lot of creative minds that could go entirely different ways.
Right.
Toho tends to keep it towards more the base material, but Legendary expands on it.
Yeah, because Legendary is based on comics,
Mm-hmm.
and this year we're getting Godzilla -0,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm very excited for.
Oh, me too.
But like, I think it was a year or so ago when they had this the 75th anniversary, when they announced like there was going to be a Chinese Godzilla film. There's like a whole bunch of Godzilla stuff that's like in the works right now on the Asian side, and not just Japanese, of that market. And I'm kind of excited to see all of it,
Oh, yeah.
because I have found so much of the Japanese films are just superior, because they just do so much more fun and zany stuff. And I don't mean that in like a cartoonish zany way, but I mean like, come on, you saw what we got in the 60s.
Yeah.
But back then that was serious. That was the thing at the time. And I gotta admit, I enjoy watching them, because like they do have almost like a higher production value on so many of it. Like, look at Shin Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
That movie has some of the best production value I've ever seen.
And as a matter of fact, Shin Godzilla actually got a steelbook release, what, like
Last year.
last year? And that was almost 5 years after it was released to America?
Yes, because they were finally releasing it on 4K, so they re-released it on Blu-ray as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all another part of the 75th anniversary like push. Because the only way I got Godzilla -1 on the version that I got was I had to go through like the official like Godzilla site or whatever
Right.
to get the version that I got, because I wanted the black and white and the 4K or whatever. Still extremely happy with my elitistness of my collection, as you know.
If that's what we're calling it.
That's what I'm calling it. In August 2004, Yoshimitsu Banno, director of Godzilla vs. Hedorah, announced that he had secured the rights from Toho to direct an IMAX 3D short film from his Advanced Audiovisual Productions (AAP) production company. The film was tentatively titled Godzilla 3D to the Max.
Oh, gotta add that to the max, huh?
That's literally what it's called.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
And was to be a remake of the Godzilla vs. Hedorah story.
Okay.
In 2005, American Peter Anderson was added to the project as cinematographer, visual effects supervisor, and co-producer by an independent producer, Kenji Okahira, who presented Banno. The same year, American producer Brian Rogers signed on to the project after the meeting with Banno, arranged by Okiro and Anderson. In 2007, also through Anderson, Kerner Optical then came on board to develop the technology to produce the 3D film. And with Kerner's backing in the fall of 2007, the team met with Toho in Tokyo, where they renegotiated their license to allow the release of full-length 3D theatrical production. In 2008, Kerner was facing financial troubles that threatened to cancel their production. In 2009, Rogers, Anderson, and the then proposed director Keith Melton met with Legendary Pictures to get their backing on a 3D theatrical film. In 2010, it was greenlit by Legendary to go into production by, from the Godzilla 3D production team. Banno and Akira would remain on the project as executive producers, and Rogers as a producer. So it's crazy just how much this movie just morphed from a 3D remake of Godzilla vs. Hedorah
to an entirely new thing.
Mm-hmm. And it's just so seamless, and it's just because somebody was having financial troubles.
That tends to how it be.
I'm gonna just stop paying my bills and see if my life changes like that.
Oh yeah, it'll change. You'll be living on the street alone.
That'll be the start of my my Legendary timeline. So legendary. Banno stated that he still planned to produce a sequel to Godzilla vs. Hedorah. However, Banno died on May 7th of 2017. So we will never officially see the sequel to Godzilla v. Hedorah. I haven't seen that one. Have you?
I have not. At least I don't believe so.
That's like one of the higher rated ones from like the Showa Heisei era, correct?
I believe so.
Because it was no, that's Biollante. I'm thinking that's like one of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
In 2009, rumors surfaced that Legendary was in talks with Toho to produce a new American Godzilla film to be released in 2012. On March 29th, 2010, Legendary officially announced its acquisition of the license and planned to produce a new film with Warner Brothers. Co-producing and co-financing Legendary's Godzilla would be closer to the Toho version and avoid connections with the 1998 film. Producer and then CEO of Legendary, Thomas Tull, elaborated on Legendary's plans. Our plans are to produce the Godzilla that we are, as fans who would want to see. We intend to do justice to those essential elements that have allowed this character to remain as pop culturally relevant for as long as it has. Film producers Dan Lin, Roy Lee, Doug Davidson, and Legendary's Thomas Tull and John Giacchini were added to the project as producers, working with Rogers, Banno, and Akira. Legendary financed 75% of the film's budget, while Warner Brothers put up the other 25%. As a slate finance partner of Warner Brothers, Rat Pack Dune Entertainment had a minority stake part ownership over the film, as well as over other Warner Brothers titles. Because like this came out when like Man of Steel, BVS was coming out. That's when they were all doing a bunch of Rat Pack Dune stuff.
Mm-hmm.
because I remember seeing those logos in all those movies back then. It was like, oh man, this is a Rat Pack movie. It's gonna be great. Now I look back and it's like, man, what was I thinking?
Maybe not as great as I once thought.
Like, oh yeah, that reminds me of the time when Warner Brothers was an absolute crappy company and doing wonderful things with its directors and stuff. Zack Snyder. So sorry. Warner Brothers have people everywhere.
Do not invoke their wrath on us, please. I beg you.
Zack Snyder won't come to save us.
Nobody will.
Not even Disney. They'll probably help Warner Brothers. They'll probably help Warner Brothers.
You know what? I'd be all right if Disney didn't come to help them. Come to help us, I mean.
Then we'd just be owned by one of the world's largest monopolies.
Not if we don't sell our souls.
Or just sell out in general.
We haven't already?
I haven't received a check that I've told you about. Sorry, what?
I don't know, man.
Fair enough.
I just work here.
Wait, you get paid?
Occasionally.
Wait, what? I need to talk to our producer about that.
Let's not. You're not supposed to know.
Oh, sorry. I don't want to ruin your gig.
Oh, thanks.
At the 3D Summit conference held in September of 2010 at Universal Studios, producer Brian Rogers confirmed a targeted release for 2012, and that the reboot would be a live-action project featuring a fully CGI Godzilla battling two other monsters, rather than simply the military as seen in Zilla. I'm glad that they just decided not to make Godzilla the villain again and just make him the target of just humanity's wrath.
Yeah.
Because, like, we got that for about 50 years. Like, it's smart to do something different every once in a while.
Right.
Rogers also confirmed that the two Godzilla head designs online rumored to have been designed by Legendary and sent to Toho for approval were fake. I didn't know anything about that.
I don't know either.
Rogers also stressed his and Legendary's wish to revive Godzilla in the same fashion Legendary had revived Batman with Batman Begins. I always forget they were involved in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
In October of 2010, Latino Review reported that Legendary had merged the spec script for Pacific Rim with their Godzilla reboot and offered Guillermo del Toro to direct it. However, del Toro clarified to HitFix that the report was false, stating, "I am not involved in Godzilla at all. I haven't read it or plan to read it, nor have I been approached to direct it." Legendary would go on to produce Pacific Rim as its own film, with del Toro directing, co-writing, co-producing, and theatrically releasing it July 12th, 2013, the year before. In 2011, Gareth Edwards was announced as the director of the film. In an interview publicizing the DVD release of Monsters, Edwards discussed the new film. "This will definitely be a very different feel than the 1998 film. And our biggest concern is making sure we get it right for the fans, because we know their concerns. It must be brilliant in every category, because I'm a fan as well." Edwards further stated, without addressing anything specific, "Everyone knows how important it is to get it right." The film remained in development into 2012, missing the planned release date. Edward worked on his vision for the film at a stage in Warner Brothers' lot. The production team developed Godzilla models, artwork, and previs for the action scenes of the movie from the lot. Edward directed a short teaser video shown to Legendary executives and was later shown at San Diego Comic-Con in July of 2012.
That's a whole lot of stuff.
Yes, it is.
Kudos to you for reading it all, though. Very proud of you.
So there's a lot of on location stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna name off some of the places. Vancouver was a big one for some of the city stuff. Uh, Vancouver, Honolulu, and Tokyo airports were shot in Vancouver, and they were used to simulate like the bigger cities or whatever.
Okay.
A lot of it was filmed on Hawaii. Let me say that.
Makes sense.
Well, yeah. Pretty much this movie is. I read so much. I don't even know what I read at this point. That was just so much. Pretty much, this movie was in development hell for about 20 years.
Read so much he forgot what he read.
And it's not even saying that that's a bad thing. That's just a lot, man.
Yeah, it's trust me, it sounded like a lot.
And I'm very, very glad. And I don't hate when we get movies where they're like the legacy sequels or like remakes or whatever of something that's been so long dormant, because there's so much stuff that happens in between those times of release. And like there's some pretty cool things that happen in there, and there's just a whole bunch of pencil pushing that happens in there, but it's still somehow all important. Somehow.
Yeah, somehow, maybe, sort of.
Either way, the movie didn't really have any issues except that it was 3 different movies.
Yeah.
All right, Caden, time for your favorite game show.
Oh no.
Guess whatever the money that made. I'm still working on a title. All right. The budget of this.
Match the money.
Meow, 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 meow. I like it. Match the money. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, that wasn't very difficult to come up with the title with.
Shut up. You're already down $2 billion. All right.
No.
You owe me.
No.
The production budget of this movie was $160 million. I am looking for.
Shut up. Can't go wrong highballing it for the first roll. We're going to go 653 million.
Close.
Really? Higher or lower?
Lower.
553 million.
You're getting closer.
Lower?
Mm-hmm.
453 million.
Too low.
Okay.
Grand total, this movie made back $529.1 million.
Oh, that second guess was so close.
I know, because like you were right there, and I didn't want to give you anything too specific, like I did. What was it last week?
I think so.
But yeah, no, man, you were close again.
I don't think I'll ever get right on the money.
If you do, I will.
You owe me $5.
Sold. We just need like frame up a $5 bill on the desk,
It'll
and then
just haunt me forever.
and then we'll just put like a sign on top of it that says "smash in case of emergency." And the emergency is if you get the exact right amount of box office money. And we'll have like a horn that goes.
We will not have a horn that does that.
Domestically,
Okay.
this movie made $200.7 million.
Okay, that's not bad.
Internationally, it made $328.4 million.
Okay, that's not bad.
Opening weekend, $93.2 million in US and Canada alone.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
I am kind of excited to see the trajectory the later ones do,
Right.
because I've forgotten by now what King of the Monsters was from last season.
I'm pretty sure it was a
It was
fairly.
it was higher than that. It was higher than Kong too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe so.
But yeah. This is your spoiler territory warning. As per usual, go watch the movie, come back and join us. Watch the movie again.
Come back and join us again.
Watch the movie again, then go listen to another podcast, then listen to us review their podcast while they review our podcast.
Or, just listen to us once and call it a day.
Or put us on repeat. Give us the views.
Don't do that.
We're trying to not kill brain cells here.
Speak for yourself.
All right, guys. If we are ready, Caden, are we ready to get in this movie?
Yes, sir. I'm excited to see how you start the movie off.
Well, you just did it. You said the movie starts. We open with newspaper clippings and old footage with redacted credits from Monarch. There's like a second word in Monarch in this movie, isn't it?
It's I just call it Monarch. That's all they are.
Operation Monarch. Sorry, it's Operation Monarch in this movie because it's not like as well
known.
Yeah, that changes quite drastically in Kong.
Quite quickly too.
But yeah, how is that opening?
I'd give it about a 6 out of 10.
Okay, you do better then. It's a competition now. He's got to stretch the talking muscles.
We're given a brief introduction on the origins of Monarch, its main targets Godzilla, and other targets that may exist to harm humanity as we know it. These origins are shown as newspaper clippings and old recordings from the 1950 era. Take it away.
I'll give you $1 when we get out of here.
Oh yeah, right.
Just we're gonna put like a scoreboard up here. We'll just have gold stars on it for everyone who nails more openings.
I think no offense, I think I'm in the lead.
That's fine. And in that opening credits sequence, we learned that in 1954, Godzilla is nuked by Monarch.
Yes.
And that it is important to know. I don't think it implies that this is what made him radioactive like in the original film.
No.
But at this point, it's easy to think that because we haven't had like the movie's lore dump yet.
Right.
But we get a nuke. The screen goes to white and we get an ashy title card and it just says Godzilla.
The whisper really made it.
Did it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh. I was like, man, did I just get a cool point? Only to have it slowly ripped from my soul.
You'll do better next time. I believe in you.
No, I won't. I don't have much hope for myself. Let's be honest here.
Not with that attitude.
But the screen tells us it is the Philippines and it is 1999.
That is correct. And what happened in the Philippines in 1999?
Well, we are introduced to the West Mining Corporation.
And what happened in the West Mining Corporation?
Godzilla.
Oh, no. No. You're about 4 pages too soon for
Oh
that.
no, not the 4 pages of human stuff before I get to my my half page of Godzilla stuff. No, we're
Oh.
introduced to Dr. Sarazawa
Mhm.
and Dr. Graham.
Not Grant. Graham.
And we learn that that the mining operation dug into a radiation pocket.
The mining operation quite literally went under. For explanation, the mining operation where they were digging had crumbled due to the pocket being open.
Yeah, because like it turned into like a giant like hole in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And we find a fossilized spore and a gigantic skeleton. I don't think it tells us what this is.
It's implied, kind of, from Dr. Sarazawa. Um, I have it down as ancient possible uh Godzilla Gojira corpse.
Oh, like a relative or of the same species?
Yeah, because kind of going to the comics, the Gojira species really hated the Mutos.
Because the Mutos are from Earth, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I think there's only one. I think the only creature not from Earth that we know of right now.
Is Ghidorah?
Yes.
Gotcha. Um, but we learn that one of the spores, uh, and the spores are eggs.
Yeah.
One of the eggs hatched and the thing escaped.
It's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
But it doesn't. So in Legendary's Monsterverse, the monsters feed off of radiation. The mining company thought they had found uranium, which is why they started digging there.
Right.
It's easy to assume that this egg spore thing fed off the radiation from the uranium, because when we see where it exits the cave, its trail of destruction is already massive.
Right. Then it cuts to Janjira, Japan, where we meet uh, Joe, their Brody,
Yep.
the Brody family. I only
Mhm.
have their last name wrote down like once or twice, just because of how many of them we have to keep track of in this movie.
I mean, really, the only one that really matters is the main guy.
Right, but I mean like for the first quarter of the movie where there's more of them in the scene.
Yeah.
It cuts to the Ford Brody family. Dear Lord. Funny enough, the Brody family is the main family of the Jaws franchise.
Huh.
Little little nod there, maybe.
Man, the Brody family just has no good luck. I don't even think I like to think it's not the same family, but like distant cousins.
The like, are you really related to the New York Brodies?
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys have a bad time.
And wait, is no, New York isn't where Jaws takes place, is it?
It's it's like New England off the coast somewhere over there.
Mm.
Amity Beach, it's a fake place. It's shot in like the I forget what it's called.
Mm.
You're supposed to know the things I don't know.
That's not how this works.
Anywho, the Brody family work at the local nuclear power plant
In Japan.
in Janjiro.
Yeah, I didn't write down Janjiro. It went by too quickly and I was sad.
And Joe is an analyst. I believe they said his title like once.
He's got a lot of qualifications, so it's hard to keep track.
it's Joe's birthday, and
Mhm.
Joe's played by Bryan Cranston. He does an amazing job in this movie. He is tracking seismic activity, and he thinks, and it says it originated from the Philippines.
Interesting.
That's probably not connected.
Weird earthquakes.
Yeah, but his son made him a birthday sign that Joe never gets to see because he's so wrapped up in work.
Yeah. He's actually so wrapped up in work he doesn't even realize it's his birthday.
Even though his wife tells him like, "Hey, we're gonna get you a cake," 5 minutes before he realizes it's his birthday.
She has to physically tell him, "Hey, happy birthday." It's my birthday. Yeah.
Holy crap! It's my birthday. Um, but Sandra, his wife, works at the power plant too, and she is sent down to level 5 to make sure everything is fine, or to find out what could be causing the discrepancies.
hmm And it's not just her, it's a team of 5 with her almost leading it, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And we get there. She goes down to level 5, and as soon as she gets, I would say about halfway there,
maybe it's hard to tell.
there is a breach in the one of, I forget what they called it, the radiation seal, or whatever it's called.
Radiation starts flooding into the hallway real quick, real bad. To the point where their radiation suits,
Would be pointless.
yeah, they got about 5 minutes before everything becomes null and void.
And so uh they are running back to the containment seal,
Mhm.
and Joe meets them there to close the door behind them, and they don't show up. And Joe has to shut the door.
Mhm.
Seconds after he shuts the door, they're tapping on the window. This scene is kind of hard to watch.
It is.
And then
Bryan Cranston's acting is, like you've already said, it was fantastic in this movie.
and he'd been doing Breaking Bad already
Mm-hmm.
from going for this. So he didn't go from Malcolm in the Middle to just doing this.
He'd been doing something else in the meantime.
He'd been making drugs. Uh, be like, you want to see giant lizards? Take some of this. You'll
Oh
see
my
giant
God,
lizards.
shut up.
That was a good one, and you know it.
I call it the Adam Lizard strain. Anyway.
It's as blue as the atomic breath.
Anyway.
Moving away from the Breaking Bad.
Anyway.
um, she takes her mask off because she's pointless. She says goodbye.
She's not pointless.
I said because the suit is pointless. She already knows she's dying because she's trapped.
I'm sorry. The way you said it, it was so quick. It sounded like she takes her suit off because she's pointless. And it's like, excuse me?
She's pointless is in the way of moving forward in life. If that makes that sound a little bit better or worse, I guess. But she tells him to be a good father, and the door just like seals them off.
Yeah, because it's got the first initial door, which closes pretty quickly. And then there's a second, like, airtight door.
I love the design
Mm-hmm.
of the power plant. It's really nice. It really gets that 90s industrial vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the plant just completely collapses. Cuts to 15 years later.
Yippee! I love time skips.
Makes me feel like a time traveler. What is
No.
that face for?
I hate time skips.
You just said you like time skips.
And I immediately made this face after. No offense, but there is so much that we can learn through that missing time that could help fill in things Okay, sorry about that. I lost my train of thought for a second. I hate time skips because realistically, a lot of the stuff we see in the movie could have been cut down a little bit, and we could have had like at least a little bit of a flashback of the character's past instead of learning about it 30 minutes later.
Right.
It doesn't sit well with me. Not in the best way.
I would say this movie's pacing is kind of rough.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that because it takes so long to get to the Godzilla stuff, but it just definitely drags because they're trying to like set up mystery of like, ooh, what could this thing be or whatever. We obviously know it is big monster
Mm-hmm.
for Zilla to fight.
Yes.
Just tell us that and get on with the fighting.
Exactly.
They don't learn this lesson until about 2 movies, but you know what?
It's okay. The second movie was better.
It's true. But we catch up with Ford Brody.
Mm-hmm.
He is an EOD soldier, and he is heading home from being away for 14 months. We meet Elle Brody, who is his wife, and she's a nurse, and their son Sam.
And you brought this up to me, and I thought it was so funny.
Ford
Ford Brody and Elle Brody,
is played by Aaron Taylor Johnson.
and Elle is played by
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Olsen. I had her name on the tip of my tongue, but they play lovers in this movie, and then the next time they're seen together, they're brother and sister in Age of Ultron, and I think that's so wild.
You're like, you know what? There's a big lizard over there. Hey, you want to make out? Sure. Hey, there's giant robots. Hey, you're my sister. That's weird.
It had nothing to do with what we were talking about. I just thought it was funny.
It is so weird though to see because it's so easier to see them as Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just like, you know, I want to watch a Godzilla movie. You know, I want to see a big lizard. You put it in. Oh, well, this is awkward.
They're macking lips
This is wrong in some countries.
in most countries.
And yet they're doing it in America.
Weird.
It is kind of weird. Anywho, on that tangent,
Yeah.
they get a phone call that Joe has been arrested in Japan.
Yeah.
And Ford has to go bail him out. And this is like his first night being home.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you this, that would suck.
Your first night back from deployment, and you got to go get your dad out of jail.
In Japan.
Uh-huh. Like you just got back from going around the world, now you got to go back around the world.
Like, don't you have like friends you could bail you out?
I mean, he very quickly became a hermit, and we learn why.
Yeah.
So probably not.
He did say he doesn't get many visitors.
Yeah.
But Joe is obsessed with what happened at the power plant.
Mm-hmm.
And he had been studying all the stuff that had happened. He'd been studying up on echolocation. He'd been studying on seismographs. Every possibility that could have happened that day. And he was arrested because he was going back to the quarantine zone that is where they used to live by the power plant.
Yeah.
Getting in deep here. So Joe and Ford set out the next day to go find some of Joe's old data.
Yeah.
And there's some dogs that run by him in the quarantine zone. And then Joe looks at his Geiger counter. It reads 0.
Which for a place that was just hit with a horrible nuclear meltdown, you would think that would be off the charts. Like
E-
look at Chernobyl.
Let's say this was 15 years. Chernobyl was about 40 years ago.
I don't know, but it is still extreme. You know what? I'm looking it up because I believe it is still extremely radioactive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chernobyl can't be livable again for like another 100 years, or of some variety.
Um,
But the no radiation. They take their masks off and they're fine. So they're covering something up in this quarantine zone. They get to their old house. They find his old discs, and Joe grabs a family picture because he never was able to grab one because they rushed everybody out of their homes so quickly. Oh,
Chernobyl happened on April 26th, 1986, and it is still extremely radioactive today.
that was 40 years ago.
While short-lived radioactive isotopes have decayed, long-lived elements like cesium-137 and strontium-90 persist in the soil and forest, meaning severe contamination hotspots and restricted access will last for generations. So,
That's it's about 200 years, isn't it?
give or take, yeah. And even then, it doesn't specify the amount of generations. So it could be even longer, it could be less, but
I was just saying nobody's tried to rehabilitate a radioactive hotspot.
and they're going to be wise not to try.
It's like there's a few Chernobyl horror movies out there. They should probably learn their lesson.
Yeah.
Um, but Joe finally gets to see his birthday sign.
And one of the more important things, he finally gets to grab a picture of his wife.
Yes,
Because when he was evacuated, he never had a chance to grab any kind of memorabilia of her.
but a chopper flies by, and they kind of follow its flight pattern, and they see there's activity at the old power plant.
Mm-hmm.
2 seconds later, they get arrested.
Yeah. Oh, well, that didn't take long.
Then we catch up with Sarazawa again. Sarazawa is in charge of this operation.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Dr. Graham again. And we learn that there is one of these spores in the last core, I believe is where it is.
I believe so.
But it's sending out EMPs.
Well, kind of, sort
It
of.
sends out small EMPs.
It's sending out kind of seismic waves, and every so often it'll build up to an EMP.
Because like the feeding is the EMP. That's what like helps it power up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it starts slowly hatching.
Mm-hmm.
What's in it? I don't know.
I don't want to know. That thing can go right back in.
And we learn it's a Muto,
Mm-hmm.
a massive, unidentified terrestrial organism.
Yay! We're classifying them by acronyms now. Wonderful.
What would Godzilla's acronym be?
Massive unidentified aquatic organism.
You know what an acronym is, right?
I was saying it out loud so I could.
Godzilla's acronym would have to be GODZILLA.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. The only reason they're called Muto is because that's what the military calls them. Not what Monarch calls them.
I know.
So therefore, if the military were to classify Godzilla, it would be Whatever.
Mado.
Mado.
Massive aquatic terrestrial organism.
Oh yeah.
You're welcome.
Muato. Massive unidentified aquatic terrestrial organism.
You thought you were coming here to watch Moana? No. You're here to watch Muato. Dad, what's Muato? Oh, it's just Godzilla, so it's fine. Is The Rock in it?
No,
No.
thankfully.
Like, yay!
No offense, but if The Rock was in any kind of Godzilla movie, he would try and have his contract say that he wins a fight against Godzilla.
He'd just be riding Godzilla. But he'd be like how he is in like Fast and Furious. So he's like, his arms are all oily and everything. So he's like super shiny or whatever.
No.
That or Jack Black would just be voicing Godzilla.
I need you to shut up.
That's great. But the Muto breaks free, and then Joe sees it and he realizes he's not crazy. Well, not completely crazy.
For the most part.
Ford is still handcuffed to the truck that they were arrested in.
Mm-hmm.
And a crane falls over and it frees Ford, but it knocks Joe off of a bridge. So he's incapacitated. And I wrote this down. We get a point where Ford puts on a gas mask, and the gas mask is like the camera lens.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really cool scene. There's a lot of really cool camera shot choices in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that almost makes it feel not as mainstream.
Right.
Compared to the other ones, because there's really no crazy camera angles like that in a lot of the other ones. But it cuts back to the Brody house. Elle sees the news and she starts freaking out.
Which, understandably so.
Yeah. The military officially takes over control of the entire thing from Monarch. And Joe finally dies of his injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Really sad.
It's actually a really sad moment because Ford and Joe had just reconnected.
Yeah, they were actually like bonding and stuff because Joe was right.
Yeah.
When we meet Admiral Stenz, who is he's in King of the Monsters, I believe.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, because he's like the guy who makes another stupid military decision in that one too, isn't he? Yeah, because he's the one who says to drop the hydrogen weapon, the anti-oxygen weapon or whatever it's called.
Anti-oxygen destroyer.
Yeah.
I think it was just called the oxygen destroyer.
Something like that. Anyway, this guy, I love how he doesn't change because most of his answer for everything in this movie is just drop a nuke on it.
Blow it up. Sir, your taxes came in. Blow it up.
But sir, you made $500 million.
Blow it up.
Okay.
Sir, somebody towed your car. Blow it up.
It's almost as if this guy's played by Michael Bay.
Blow it up.
Sir, there's a poster of Megan Fox.
Blow it up.
Yes. While playing 80s music.
Blow it
up. But in this scene, we get the Godzilla lore dump,
where
we learn that Monarch was founded because of Godzilla, and that they've been tracking him since the 1950s. And they were trying all the nuke testings and everything that was famous in the 50s. They claim with them trying to kill Godzilla. And then we learn, because they brought in Ford because they want to know whatever Joe knew or whatever. And he talked about the echolocation. And we learn that the Muto was talking to something. Was it Godzilla? Was it something else?
It was me.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Nice.
not. He's not friendly.
He hasn't been taking your calls for the past few years.
No.
That's rude.
Yeah.
But then Ford Brody leaves to go home with his family, and he's
Right.
flying to Hawaii to get on a plane to San Francisco, I believe, is what his
Yes.
plan is.
Mm-hmm.
But then it cuts to Hawaii, and Ford is trying to get to the airport, and he's on one of those little tube trains, speed
Mm-hmm.
trains or whatever.
Bullet trains.
Yeah, and there's this kid who gets separated from his parents,
Mm-hmm.
and Ford helps him by looking after him so they can go back around.
And while this is happening, the military is hunting the Muto, specifically a Russian submarine that had gone missing on land.
And so we cut to a night ops team. And there's a few sequences like this in this movie. I really like
Oh yeah.
um but it cuts to the submarine just being entangled in a bunch of trees,
Mm-hmm.
and the Muto's just right beside it, just feasting off of its
Warheads.
warheads and its core.
Mm-hmm.
And it sends out an EMP blast. So everything is powered off on the island of Honolulu.
Yes.
Then it cuts to the military. They don't really have a name for the ship they're on in this movie.
Wait. Yeah, it was the I didn't write it down. Oh, but it was the USS
it was like a helicarrier.
Santa Coa.
U.S. Santa Coa.
USS Santa Coa, I think.
Oh, nice.
I'm probably completely wrong, but that sounds right.
that's our headcanon. Um, but we pretty much learned that Godzilla is inbound to Honolulu,
Mm-hmm.
and so they believe that he's the one that the Muda was talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla makes for land. Caden, what follows him?
Not follows, precedes him.
No, yeah, that's true. It precedes him.
A massive tsunami.
And when I say this movie is a disaster movie, this is the sequence I'm talking about. Because the last, what would you say, last 45 minutes to an hour have been leading up to this moment where we finally see Godzilla on land.
Mm-hmm.
Because the waves wash down the city streets, and then the soldiers are lighting flares so they can be able to see.
And it gives this like supernatural feel to it. Because like any tsunami, the waves just keep rolling back and further back off of shore before they just build over. And you just see people get swept off the streets. And like Logan said, they're throwing flares. And once those flares are hit or thrown, that's when you see the scales and then the gunfire starts.
Yeah, because like it's only just his leg that we see, isn't it? Or is it like his?
Kind of upper torso for the most part.
Oh, is it? But no, a lot of Godzilla in this movie is seen by flares or by night lights,
External lighting.
external lighting. Yeah.
Looks like he's getting for a photo shoot every time he appears. And hey, I am all for it.
It's the camera shy Godzilla. It's the nature documentary Godzilla where you just have like a Australian guy. Look at the Godzilla. Look at him.
Oh, ain't he a cutie?
Oh, look at him biting the head off that. What is that thing? Oh my god.
Well, whatever it is, it's got 4 heads now.
Fair. But the power comes back on, and the Mudo is near Ford's train.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get our first quote unquote monster fight.
Yeah.
How would you describe this monster fight?
Um, the military kind of teams up with Godzilla for like 30 seconds to fight against the Muto. The military has to retreat because they're way out of their league, and then it cuts to the next day. We really don't. I hate saying it, but the fights in this movie kind of suck.
Because it's like all build up and there's no reward.
I mean, the buildup at the end of the movie is really worth it,
Yeah.
but this is the first encounter Godzilla has with the Muto,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't even get to see it.
Yeah. Also, the airport shot.
I love the airport shot.
I'll let you describe it because it's one of like the big shots from this movie.
So, as the Muto is approaching onto the train track,
Mm-hmm.
this is before Godzilla enters the scene. The military's still kind of shooting at him, and the Muto moves his head into one of the helicopters, which causes it to spiral into an airport and onto one of the planes. The plane explodes, and this creates a chain reaction. And from inside the airport, you see this chain reaction happen, and then just boom, Godzilla's foot just enters the scene amidst the fire and chaos.
Yeah, the shots in this movie are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It cuts to the next day, like you said, and this is when Sam's like, "Mommy, look, there's dinosaurs on TV," and so she learns about what's all that's happening in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Ford gets the boy returned to his family, so the boy is fine.
Yeah, technically, kind of.
He's traumatized for life, but he's fine.
No, I mean, like, the boy just kind of runs away and magically stumbles into his parents.
That's the Hollywood magic.
Yeah.
Ford joins the troop that's following Godzilla because Godzilla is heading towards San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at this point, we learn why the Muto is heading east, and because we learn what he's talking to.
It ain't Godzilla.
Caden, who's picking up the phone?
Not the Ghostbusters, unfortunately. No. It turns out our male Muto is a little bit of a playboy. Because on the other end of that call is a female Muto. And she's been answering back. Nope. Nope. But we learn about this female Muto through Sarazawa kind of interrogating Stents.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarazawa asked Stents, like, okay, there was another spore in the Philippines. What happened to that one? Stents then explains it was put in a kind of Nevada warhead slash radioactive material
Dump
keepsake center.
in it's Unuka Mountain in Nevada, and the Muto has escaped.
And it feasted.
Caden, how big is this Muto?
Already, it is 300 feet tall.
So it's roughly about the size of Godzilla in this movie. A little bit shorter.
I think Godzilla's like 336, 350.
Yeah, somewhere's in there. Because by the time we get to King of the Monsters, he's about 4 or something, isn't he?
I don't think so.
Or is that in GVK?
I will look it up for you.
But no, Vegas is gone.
Yeah.
Um, but Stents comes up with a plan to lure the Mutos away from all land with a nuke and to blow them up in the sea. Surazawa is a firm believer that Godzilla is the natural balance of the world. And he believes they should let them fight and let Godzilla restore balance. Go ahead, my good sir.
So, in the 2014 movie, Godzilla is 355 feet tall.
Oh, nice.
You were actually correct with King of the Monsters. He is 393 feet tall.
Ayo.
So now I'm kind of wondering how tall he is. Okay. Against Kong, he's 393, and I'm pretty sure. But yeah, 393.
Hmm.
So he really stops growing after the second movie.
Gotcha.
Which makes sense.
The next one is going to be like 500 feet tall.
Oh, yeah, that's horrifying.
But what was I saying? Shirazawa. He doesn't like the nuke plan
No.
because his father was at Hiroshima.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just kind of see on Stenz's face, like, man, I just gave this guy a nuke plan, and I'm kind of feeling bad about it.
Oh, well, we still got to go through with it.
Sorry. But we learned that San Francisco is where all three big boys are headed.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote down San Francisco be ground zero. But Ford sees a train with the nukes,
Mm-hmm.
and we learn that that's where they're headed to San Francisco. So Ford hops on the train,
Mm-hmm.
and the train, I would say the train went all day into the night.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really say where they are, but the train stops, and we get this cool tunnel scene. We get this cool bridge. The bridge scene is so cool. If you have the opportunity to watch this movie with like a sound bar or
Surround sound.
any kind of sound system other than TV speakers, do it.
The Muto shriek, I want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
is so cool to listen to.
Oh yeah, it was so good. Um, but the train derails.
Mm-hmm.
Ford wakes up, and the Muto has eaten all but one of the nukes.
Mm-hmm.
But a helicopter arrives, gets the nuke, gets him, and they head to San Francisco. And I told you about this because it'd be such a sight to just be looking up in the sky.
In San Francisco, and
A helicopter's just carrying a nuke over your head.
it's just, oh, it's my day of reckoning. Oh, joy.
You're like,
call up some people. Hey, Martha, you want to cancel my 3 o'clock? I don't think I'm making it in.
That's when you look back down at your Switch. You're like, oh, I'm playing Fallout. Well, I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna be living it by tomorrow.
Yippee!
Just start playing on repeat Big Iron.
Oh my god.
But Elle sends Sam away with one of her friends.
Laura.
Yes.
It's a work friend.
To get him out of the city.
Mm-hmm.
The army sets up a base in Oakland, California, and Godzilla has entered the chat in San Francisco.
Mm.
Caden, this is your favorite scene in the entire movie.
So, the movie begins.
Dramatic
No.
pause. A foggy bridge.
No, the shot picks up on the Golden Gate Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Already, there's been a lot of cool shots from different movies happen on this bridge. But people are being escorted by both military and police out of San Francisco. All of a sudden, one of the soldiers on one of the boats looks out at the water 200 meters port side, fins are rising up out of the water, quickly approaching. And they get closer and closer. And the men are told to hold their fire, and the fins stop. Suddenly, those weren't his back spikes. Those were his tail spikes. And he is actually close enough to the Golden Gate Bridge to grab it. And this is technically where the second interaction between the male Muto and Godzilla happens. Because the camera shifts up after Godzilla's getting pummeled by tank shots, assault rifles, anything under the sun. And they're coming down at, I would say, like Mach 7
Oh, yeah.
is the male Muto diving straight towards one of the boats.
And the nuke is stolen.
Mm-hmm. I do want to also mention, during this little fight scene between Godzilla and the male Muto, there's a bus driver, and he's pretty much the MVP of the entire movie. Because unlike every other car, he's not waiting for the military to tell him when to cross the bridge.
He's going.
He's got like 40 kids in the bus, and he needs to get them out. And he does. Yeah? Yeah, take your time. Uh-huh.
That man deserves a medal. At least a spot at NASCAR.
With how he was driving? Oh, absolutely.
There's bus NASCAR. Not official NASCAR, but there's bus races.
I've never seen that. I've only seen bus demolition derby.
Bus races are interesting. A lot of them flip over.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh yeah. But the male gives the female the nuke for the eggs that she has.
Yeah, because what we didn't mention is that during the train sequence,
during the bridge or whatever,
she's heavy pregnant.
How many eggs would you say she laid?
That's a good question. I'd say at minimum 200. Because we don't see the whole nest.
That's true. I'm going to guess we maybe see like an eighth of the nest. But Ford joins the mission to disarm the nuke. And Serizawa finally gets his wish, and Stens is going to let them fight. Cuts to another quote-unquote monster battle. And then this monster battle is like they're going at each other, then some doors close.
Specifically at this point in time, it's the male Muto and Godzilla.
Yes. And when the door shuts, it's L getting in one of the underground bunkers or whatever it's called. Cuts to an airdrop.
You loved this scene.
Okay.
So you can take this one.
These guys are airdropping into San Francisco. They have to go through like 3 waves of clouds. And they all have flares so they can keep an eye on each other. So all you see is just red streaks cutting through the clouds. And then you cut through the last wave of clouds. It feels like a crowd, but like how thick the clouds are. But then you realize they're not clouds. It's smoke. Half of San Francisco is destroyed and on fire. Visually one of the best shots of the entire franchise.
Oh, absolutely. Normally I would debate on you on such a thing just to debate with you. But
you can't.
The only other shot that I can think of that even comes close is the first initial standoff between Ghidorah and Zilla in the
Oh,
Arctic.
oh yeah, that's a great shot.
Oh, absolutely.
Or Kong in the sun when the helicopters are coming up on him.
See, my complaint with that is that it's done like 2 or 3 times in the movie.
That's true.
So it doesn't feel as whoa. It's more of a kind of gimmick, it feels
Right.
like.
But the squad heads off to find the nuke.
Mm-hmm.
And they find the female giving birth. I think that's what's happening.
Yes.
But then it cuts to Godzilla versus the female Muto.
And it's no competition.
Not really.
No. It's funny to watch though.
It is. But they find the nuke with the eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it cuts back to Godzilla. It's like the first cut in between two things that we've seen in a while, and I think in this movie, because a lot of it is just like, let's do this, then we're gonna do this, then this. This is the first time we're getting multiple things going on at once in this movie, I would say.
Oh, absolutely.
But Godzilla's getting tag teamed by
Mm-hmm.
both the male and the female now.
And
He's losing.
This is where he starts getting his butt handed to him because as strong as he is, the Mutos have such a good, almost like symbiosis
Right.
that they're almost always on the same wavelength.
I wrote down an actual fight. Holy crap. And that's it. That's the only note I've given for any of the fight stuff in this movie. It's like an actual fight. Holy crap. But the nuke must be put on the boat because they're unable to disarm it because the nuke won't open.
Mm-hmm. It's gunked up from the Muto saliva, I would assume. Yeah, it's rancid.
But Forrest stays behind with the eggs and
Mhm.
decides to blow them all up.
And this angers the female Muto.
This part was cool because it's almost like you can just hear a woman crying in the Muto's noises.
I wouldn't say it's cool because there's a woman crying.
Not like that, but the sound design.
Yeah, it's to mimic like the loss of children.
Mm-hmm.
Something all animals can and probably have gone through.
Right. I'll let you take this next part because this is your favorite part.
So, well, hold on. Which part? The or the boom? You know what? I'll take them both.
I say
Thanks.
go ahead, just do both.
So, the female Muto runs away, and this unfortunately leaves Godzilla with the male Muto. Now, the male Muto's a little spry kind of guy.
He's like a moth.
Yeah. So he can just stab, 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 fly away, swoop and stab. And he just kind of does that. Well, he gets all up in Godzilla's face. So he grabs him, and Godzilla throws the Muto into a building. No big deal. The male Muto just swoops back around, and for some reason, the male Muto forgot Godzilla had a tail, and the male Muto ends up getting slammed. Not smacked, slammed into a building so hard that it unintentionally collapses on top of Godzilla.
Yeah.
That is how much hatred Godzilla put into that hit. He intentionally or unintentionally almost killed himself trying to get rid of that moth. And honestly, I can relate.
It's a very human feeling. But before that, we got to see the atomic breath. We didn't?
No. Godzilla takes out the male Muto first.
I thought he used the atomic breath to try to kill the Muto midair, but it didn't work because it was too fast.
I don't think so.
Anyway, in this fight sequence, we get that anatomic breath at some point.
No.
No, because yes, the atomic breath comes first. Because when he smacks the into the building, it kills the male.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Because that's the second part I'm about to talk about.
Okay.
With Ford blowing up the nest and the female Muto now examining the place, he has to be extremely still lest he wants to join them.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he shambles into a crumbling building and it shatters some glass. Before the Muto can act, though, in the background of her roar, you hear the buzzing. The yeah. And then it just, on Ford's face, you can see it light up that shade of blue.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to Godzilla, still in the clouds, but you see his tail starts lighting up and it goes into the dust. And he pops out of it and hits the Muto with everything he's got. And you know he's tired of messing around when he pulls that out.
But all the soldiers are dead now.
Mm-hmm.
Killed by the female. Ford gets the nuke, and he sets it on a boat, and he gets the boat moving. But then an EMP blast turns off the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Caden, we finally get the final villain of this movie destroyed. How does Godzilla do it?
The best way to describe it would be a Mortal Kombat fatality. Godzilla comes up behind the female Muto, literally biting so hard he's about to tear the head off, grabs onto her mouth, and shoots his atomic breath down into her throat, decapitating her. This is very fun to watch.
Fatality.
No.
And then he just throws the head into the water.
Yeah.
He's like,
I don't want this.
like, man, I am too old. I am too tired of this crap. Only been around a few thousand years. You're fine.
Millions. Millions.
Millions upon millions.
Godzilla is old.
And yet still growing.
That's the terrifying part.
That just gets into Shin Godzilla territory. But Ford and Godzilla both pass out.
Mm-hmm.
And Ford is rescued and cuts the next morning.
No, the bomb still goes off.
Oh, yeah, the bomb goes off.
And it's very cool to watch.
It is.
Because you get the whole mushroom cloud.
You get like the sunlight and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the next morning, Ford has his son. And then Sarazawa and Graham get to see Godzilla up close.
In person, I would believe.
Mm-hmm. And then he wakes up. And then the Brody family is reunited. Godzilla roars into the
distance.
And then just heads into the water. And credits.
And something that I want to point out is Godzilla is several metric tons, like in the hundreds, even the thousands, possibly. But when he goes into the water, there is no displacement.
No.
That's the terrifying part.
Yeah, he's just so buoyant somehow. It's crazy.
No, he moves so fluidly that the water just does not change around him.
He's Godzilla. What more do you say?
Yeah,
You have no questions, correct?
that is correct.
I have one.
Okay.
It's not really much of a question. It's more of like an opinion question.
Oh God.
Do you think for a franchise, do you think this is the first good film?
Oh, absolutely.
You do?
Especially thinking about the fact that every movie kind of evolves more to show more of the monsters.
Right.
Like, because I can only assume the studio grows with the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So the more movies they put out, the better they get, the higher their budget becomes, the more they can show.
Right. I would agree with that. I do think that it is a little rough around the edges.
You're going to have that for any starting franchise.
Right. But yeah, I think this was a good stepping point for Godzilla, for Toho characters,
Oh, absolutely.
for just the whole shebang, really. All right. That is the second quote unquote Monsterverse film. We won't be covering Godzilla King of the Monsters next week. We covered it last season.
Yeah.
It's okay. In the playlist section on the YouTube channel, you can listen to them all in order. It's fine. But next week, we will be covering one of my favorite Monsterverse movies, Godzilla versus Kong.
Now, I kind of want to ask this question now. Realistically, who would you want to win? Kong or Godzilla?
Realistically,
Like, personally, who would you want
personally,
to
I would want Kong to win because I watched Kong first,
win?
so I'm much more adept in with Kong. But like I understand both sides, and I understand why the movie goes the way it goes.
Yeah.
Um, but like, and I wouldn't say I'm upset. I wouldn't say I'm happy with either way, whoever wins. Um, but yeah, it's a good movie. It definitely has like that Captain America Civil War.
Batman versus
Mm-hmm.
Superman. Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter who wins; they both end up teaming up at the end, anyways. So
Spoiler!
when we bring up Batman v Superman and Captain America Civil War, the same thing happens in both of those movies. Especially when now the movies are Godzilla X Kong, because they don't want to say Godzilla and Kong. There's an X in there.
No.
I do have some somewhat interesting news
Okay.
I want to bring up on this show. I talked to you about it earlier,
Okay.
but since it's important to the show and what we've done this season and what we've been taught, what we talked about, Universal has said that they are moving forward with another Jurassic World film. Gareth Edwards is not returning because he wants to do other stuff. He doesn't want to do another Jurassic World movie. This was announced 2 or so weeks ago. I think I read the article. But yeah. So
what more could they have to milk from this franchise?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just gonna be a 2-hour found footage movie on the D-Rex. That'd be good.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. That could be really cool.
Be like, hey, Universal, head to the found footage section.
Granted, I feel like Universal would do like half found footage, half third person.
It
And-
just cut to it in universe camera, like, oh my god, what did I just see?
And that would ruin it so quickly.
Oh yeah. But we are getting another one at some point.
We may or may not, probably not, watch it.
It just depends on if it's worthy enough to enter the collection if we will talk about it or not.
I mean, the last one was visually beautiful.
Yeah, but that's
but it
also
just
because it was Gareth Edwards.
the but the story itself was dumb.
It was
So
non-existent is what it was.
yeah.
But yeah, so there's a little sad note for us there. But next week we continue with Godzilla vs. Kong. I am Logan Thomas,
I'm Caden Green.
and this has been the Real Bros Podcast. See you guys next week.
Podcast.
Roar.